Don't be and don't be scared. I'm just using this as a reference book. I have a hard time remembering all the readings. But these readings really hit on the heart of understanding the relationship between the Old Testament and the Eucharist. Wisdom, being open, seeing what you need to see, hear what you need to hear, learn. And as Father said, I'm here to give a talk on the Eucharist in the Old Testament. And I know y'all have heard many, many times, the Old Testament is just a prophecy foretelling a thing that the Israelites and everybody back then were told, this is what's coming. What you see now is just now, but there's something coming. Something so much better and greater than it would blow your mind if you really could grasp it. The idea is that, and it starts off with Genesis. When God tells Adam about the tree of life, whoever eats the fruit of the tree of life will live forever. What does Jesus tell us? I am the vine. Whoever feeds on me will live forever. And he gave us himself. It's why I became Catholic at 22. Lord rest him, Monsignor McGuff. I'm watching him do Mass. He was in the chapel of if y'all remember St. Paul's Catholic Church, down there on the beach, the giant A-frame. It had a little chapel inside, and you could see from outside into the chapel. And I'm watching him do Mass. And my wife, wherever she is, always told me that it had to be 2 people present for Mass. A priest wasn't supposed to consecrate and do Mass by himself. And I'm sitting there watching him, going through everything. And after a certain point, I realized, wait, there's nobody else in there. And then it hit me. He wasn't by himself. Jesus was there. And the whole Old Testament, the sacrifice of Abel was a lamb, an unblemished lamb. What was Jesus? The perfect, totally and completely unblemished lamb that was sacrificed for us. And the idea of bread and wine, that's not something new. The Jews were doing that back in the Old Testament. In Genesis 4:2-5, not 14, 17 through 20. Told you I had a problem remembering. Abraham comes back from a battle where he freed his brother Lot. And he goes to the high priest Melchizedek. And guess what Melchizedek gave him? Bread and wine. Jump ahead a few thousand years. What does Jesus give us at the Last Supper? Bread and wine. It's himself. He is here with us. Jumping ahead to Genesis 22, 1-18, where God asks Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. Show me that you are loyal to me. I want you to kill, pretty much you might as well say it, kill your son. Sacrifice your son to me. When Abraham goes through the process, he's going to do it. But God stops Abraham. Jesus volunteered to come into this world and die for us. The Son of God died for us, but he gave us himself to have every time we come to Mass. And the bread and wine, blessed, that becomes the body and blood of Jesus. And then, yes, we get to Exodus, where the Passover is created. The lamb is sacrificed, and if y'all have ever seen what they do with those poor lambs, and yes, I know I barbecue things too, and I've had to slaughter animals. But the frame that they put the body of the lamb on is just like the cross. Jesus, at the Last Supper, which was Passover, gave us this meal, gave this to us. And he, just like the lamb, was stretched out on a cross, gave his life for us, and took on himself every sin ever committed or will be committed. Now, the wonderful thing I like ending with is that I don't want to forget our Holy Mother. But Isaiah prophesied a virgin will bear a child, our Holy Mother, and they will name that child Emmanuel. God is with us. And he did. He came among us, lived with us, ate with us, had a good time with us, and then was willing to sacrifice himself for us to save us. And he gave himself to us to where we are able to have him every time we go to Mass. One of the most wonderful times of my life was during COVID when people were not allowed to go to Mass. We were over in the other building. And I volunteered to come and be at that building every Sunday, starting usually about 8, 9 o'clock, and stay till about 1 or 2. That was one of the most wonderful experiences that I have ever had in my life. Being able to give communion to whoever came. I wouldn't have traded those days for anything, because that's what we're here for. We're here to have the Eucharist. But it's something that has been told to us throughout the centuries. And I love going back to St. Thomas Aquinas. For those who have faith, those who believe, no explanation is necessary. But for those who don't, no explanation is possible. That's really it. And I want everyone to stop and think. Please think. Because he's right there every time. All day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He's there. Please